very first minutes of How to Train Your Dragon 3 just got projected in front of an overcrowded theater. An exclusive and amazing moment you can only live here in Annecy. And thanks to the director of the film, Dean Deblois. Hello, Dean.
Hello. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. First of all, merci beaucoup d'être avec nous aujourd'hui. I've heard you are speaking both anglais and French. In which language should we continue the entretien?
Je suis le maître pratiqué en français, mais oui, ça fait quasiment 25 ans depuis que j'habitais au Canada, au Québec. Et alors, j'ai beaucoup perdu ma vocabulaire. Alors, ça sera...
Sounds perfect, anyway.
Ça va mieux si c'est anglais. Désolé.
No, don't be. That's good for us. Here, among mountains and water, I think some of the dragons would be quite comfy in Annecy. What do you think?
I think so too. Yes, it's such a pristine environment here. In fact, if we had done a research trip to Annecy, I think it would have found its way into the films.
Actually, you did kind of a research trip in Annecy a few years ago for the number 2 of the franchise. Do you remember those first time in here, and how do you feel?
Yeah, I had heard from many of my friends how amazing this town was and how amazing this festival was, how enthusiastic everybody was. So my first time here, it was unforgettable. I wasn't prepared for how beautiful the environment is, la vieille ville, everything. It's just incredible. So it's an inspiring place full of very inspired people coming together, to celebrate animation and art. Students, professionals, and everybody has such a great love of the medium. It's hard not to get caught up in all of it.
And what you did a few years ago was the same you did this morning. Can you explain us what kind of show did you host today?
Well, we showed 1,000 people, some work in progress, early art, some animation tests, some exploratory videos of sets, and then also some complete footage as well that's gone all the way through lighting. And this was the first crowd to ever see anything from Dragon 3, Le Monde Caché. So it's, for us, it's very exciting because the reaction was so fantastic. People were really excited.
Yeah,
that makes us feel, gives us great energy and beaucoup de confiance aussi.
Do you think the reactions of the audience could, in some way, bend the idea of the film or the process of creation? Are you here to catch up some reaction and energy to continue the work, but in the right and proper direction?
Yes, I think the most important thing with the reaction, a true reaction from both fans and just, animation enthusiasts, is if we feel the support in the room, it gives us great confidence toward the next 5 months of hard work and rushing against time to finish the film. I'm sure if we got some booze, we might stop and really rethink what we were doing. But it was such a fantastic reaction that it tells us we're on the right track, and we just have to keep delivering at that quality.
Because this is a very demanding yet welcoming audience. Have you been stressed a little coming up on the stage with your baby to show to this audience?
Yes, I think it's stressful because we have many fans of this franchise, and they are very passionate about the characters and about the story, and so they're very vocal on social media, on the internet, and there's such expectation for this last, this final installment, the epic conclusion of the story, that we feel great pressure to deliver. And of course, we want to hear the reaction and hearing applause and cheers, and it gives us, a strong reassurance that the story we like will hopefully be the story they like as well.
There is a great message of self-affirmation and self-acceptance in the movies, in the stories. What kind of message could you directly deliver to the young generation, those little dragons that are burning with the fire of animation?
Oh, wow, yeah. Well, I would say to anybody who dreams of playing in the world of animation that it's a goal that's very attainable. You know, I grew up in a small town in Quebec, so far away from Hollywood, so far away from any animation studios, and it's an amazing thing. If you draw and you love to create and tell stories, there are so many doors that will open to you, and communities that you will find, and employers. It's a world that's always looking for more imagination, and if it's in you, if you love to dream and you love to draw and you love to create stories, then the world wants to hear them.
The story should take its end. This is the third part, and you said on stage you were not fond of a prequel, midquel, sequel. Will there be a real end to that universe with this third opus, or will there be a love story of Light Fury and Night Fury? Will there be...
I think what I've made clear as far as my involvement, I wanted to tell a story that had integrity in its 3 chapters. To complete the story of Hiccup and Toothless, or Harold and Croque-Mou, to bring it to a conclusion, so that you know, if they decide in the future they want to make films that continue in the Dragon universe, it's up to them, but it would be a different timeline, it would be different characters. And so this story has a beginning, middle, and end in a very definitive way, as is the opening line of Cressida Cowell's first book, There Were Dragons When I Was a Boy. It suggests they've gone away. And that's the story that we were passionate about telling.
Okay. So, if not dragons, what is the next project that will make you come back to Annecy?
Well, I have many ideas in my own personal hopper, and I like to work on them when I have time. Some of them are animated movie ideas, and some are hybrid, some are live action. I don't know what's going to be next yet. It's kind of nice, actually, not knowing, because it sort of opens up your imagination, and when I do revisit the projects that I've worked on before, I can come back with a little bit more wisdom and a little bit more experience, and see which ones still appeal to me. So, yeah, who knows?
Who knows? And speaking of imagination and creativity, I'm gonna have that very last question, calling upon your immediate creativity and imagination. If you had to produce an animation project on Annecy and its festival, what would be your angle and what could be the title?
Wow. Oh, that's difficult.
Yeah, everyone was asked it, and don't worry. Everyone took a little time to make it up.
It's such a collection of animated projects that it seems like the characters themselves, if there was a place where they were going to come alive and, collectively be together, it would be here in this town. So yeah, I think that's probably the angle I would go, is somehow magically, in the midst of the festival, these characters start to take on a life of their own and begin to intermingle, each with their own stories. They all have to come together to kind of face a whole new world.
That's interesting. We are very eager to see it, so get on with it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Me too.